ShadCast. Another story. Let's go. I got married 4 years ago. I and my husband tried every possible way to get pregnant, but to no avail. We ran test upon test, and every result said both of us were good to have children. We resorted to prayers. After 2 years, my husband became calm and kept assuring me that everything was going to be fine. He did everything possible to calm my nerves. He changed my car, took me on vacation outside, and gave me money to fund my business. I still waited on God and kept praying. A year later, I found out that I was pregnant. You can imagine our joy. We were so happy and immediately planning to receive our baby started. And immediately planning to receive our baby started, sorry. There was even plans to deliver him outside the country. 3 months into my pregnancy, and I discovered an unfortunate situation. I found out my husband had a child with another woman 2 years ago, and and the woman was pregnant again. She was almost due. A sister or someone from the other woman's side anonymously called me and advised me to talk to my husband to come marry their daughter and stop making her have babies out of wedlock for him. I was shocked. I asked the woman if she knew I was his legal wife, and she said it didn't matter, and that their daughter can come and add up. It doesn't spoil anything. She further sent pictures of the child my husband had. The pictures included him at the hospital with the child when the child was born, the naming ceremony, and other stuff. It made sense why he suddenly grew calm and was using gifts and other stuff at me. I confronted him and he confirmed and told me he thought I wasn't going to have children soon, and he was growing and needed a child to inherit his properties. So if he thought to so he thought to get for himself someone who would have children for him. So why didn't you talk to her about it? The best thing you could have done was talk to your wife about it. She's your wife. She's your confidant. So if that is your fear, why don't you talk to her about it? He said the plan was to have the lady give him 3 children without any issue of marriage, and the lady agreed. So she agreed. So why are they forcing you now? He doesn't know why her people have started demanding marriage. I looked at him as he spoke. I didn't say a word or react because I was careful of my child's health. The whole night he kept begging and I was still silent. Silent treatment. I didn't sleep that night. Of course you cannot sleep. I sat in the living room and was thinking hard. The days ahead, I was still silent but was still planning. But I was planning. I had a 3 bedroom house I had built but hadn't completed the electricals and finishing. I got my contractor to do all the necessary finishings and then I finished it. I finished it not fully but at least to accommodate me and my baby for the meantime. One day he came back from work and I was gone. Because I was calm and quiet, he couldn't read my movements and thoughts. He didn't even realize when I was slowly and carefully taking my belongings out of our home. He knew I was building. He knew the area of the building. He knew the area of the building, but the exact location he didn't know. Charlie, sharp move. Everybody tried to reach out to me, but I refused giving out my location to anyone, not even my siblings, because I couldn't trust them. I stopped going for antenatal at our family hospital just so my husband doesn't meet me there unannounced. It was just my best friend who knew where I stayed. I stopped going to work. My husband kept calling and sending texts. My parents were crying. My dad promised to support me, but he didn't. He needed to know where I was. I still held on to my decision and kept myself from everyone. 7 months later, I released my maternity photo shoot and the gender of my child in an edited photo shoot. Wow. This was something at the beginning of my pregnancy my husband and I planned to do. He was looking forward to it, and doing it without him got to him. He sent a long paragraph threatening divorce. Ah, seriously? The person has left. What is the divorce going to do for her? I told him I was ready for the divorce. I said it. She was already ready. The plan to have the child outside didn't fall through, so I had started making arrangements to have my baby at UGMC. Okay, so this is an Accra person. He told his family I wanted to run away with the child. His dad and uncles called and I told them I had no plan of doing so. I just didn't want to increase my pressure by being around him because I was super mad at him. We finally agreed that I'll call him when I fall into labor. He wanted to be present when I'm delivering. When my water broke, I informed him. My best friend took me to the hospital. He came He came, and not just him. My parents were there, his mom and sister. and a few other people, and that was the first time he had even seen me in almost like 5 months. Everyone was quiet and watching me. I was in labor for 5 hours. Wow, you guys, ladies, you really suffer. And throughout, he tried having a conversation with me, but I kept ignoring. My mom was crying. As to why she was crying, I didn't know. I was in pain and didn't want to be bothered. Finally, I was ready to push. Push! He wanted to be in the room with me, but I refused. I didn't want him around me. After 2 hours, I finally gave birth. That's 7 hours. You've been in labor for 5 hours and pushing for 2 hours. That's 7 hours. That is Obi Ejuma 8 to 3. Now upon Ejuma. Hmm. I was asked to go to my husband's house with a child. The family was going to sit and discuss the issue. I obeyed, and so after 2 days, we were discharged, sorry, and went home. My mom followed me. Apparently, the other woman had given birth 2 months before me. In my husband's house, I decided to be in the guest room with my mom. It was there my mom was telling me the family of the other woman have refused my husband visiting his children or their mother until he performs at least customary marriage. My husband has also refused, saying he had no interest marrying the woman. His family tried going, okay, he refused. He also refused, saying he had no interest marrying the woman. His family tried going to talk to the family of the other lady, and they were sacked, saying my husband wants to make a fool out of their daughter. So, but wait, I thought he said he and the woman had an agreement. Okay, so okay, it wasn't a legal agreement jotted down on a paper or like printed and signed. But he had a spoken agreement with the woman that he just wants her to have children for him. 3 children, and after that, they all split their way. So what's the family's problem now? So it's beginning to look like a legal battle. My husband is looking at sending the lady to court to demand his children. Are you okay? They are also her children. Even though you guys attested to the fact, but what is your evidence? What shows that? Who was there? What did you sign? What document did you sign? They are also her children. God. My husband is looking at sending the lady to court to demand his children. I asked in case if in case the court case goes in favor of him, who was going to take responsibility of the children? Well, this girl is sharp. She isn't. My mom then tried gaslighting me, that that is why I need to reconcile so that my husband can win the case on the premise that he has a wife who can take care of the children. I was just laughing. I haven't told anyone my plans. I'm still keeping quiet and just listening to everybody's plan and thoughts. After my child's naming ceremony, which is this weekend, I'm going back to my place. Silent planning. Don't be race. Silent planning. Someone can't so you can't track. You can't know what she will do today or tomorrow. Let's go to the comments. I think all this back and forth would have been avoided if the husband had at least told his wife his plan. That is the thing. That's the thing. From the marriage is about communication. Oh. Marriage is friendship. Marriage is about communication. You should have spoken to your wife about it from the beginning. You didn't. That way, they would have decided to get her to partake in surrogacy peacefully. This is why the wife feels betrayed. Marriage is teamwork. Charlie, it speaks sense. It speaks sense. To be honest, it speaks sense. Oh, yes, your mental health is very important. If you think you can't take it at all, then just leave the scene. You are very mature. Of course, she's very mature. The fact that she didn't talk from the beginning. She's very mature. Don't stay there and suffer and die, leaving your children or your child because that's what is most important. Yes, your kid is very important. I said one. I have a friend who told me his mom refused to. Okay, so this is somebody giving Onankasan's story. I have a friend who told his mom who told me his mom refused to marry a couple of times because of tribal issues. Or is it trivial issues? Now his mom is in her 50s, but always disturbs her son, my friend, about everything. My friend sees these things as stress because his mom calls him every time to tell him about everything. Easier said than done. when you are not in their shoes. As a man, I understand the husband's need to procreate because of the man's expectancy. Fine. The woman, on the other hand, feels betrayed and rightfully so because her husband cheated. It don't happen. He cast, I cast. You do, you do that thing, or you don't do. I mean, you do. Did you ask for permission? No, you didn't ask for permission. So what is your problem now? You have to face the consequences. How are people criticizing the woman here? Her trust was broken and you still think she's in the wrong? She isn't. At least you should have spoken to her about it. She had no idea that was what you were going to do. That's the whole issue. She had no idea that was what you were going to do. All those insulting the woman are not serious. You took her to the altar and promised her for better for worse. So what changed? Couldn't you wait? Besides, from the beginning of the story, he said they resorted to prayers. So couldn't you have waited for God to answer your prayers? My guy, couldn't you have waited for God to answer your prayers? Nelly said something. The man is not worth keeping. And no matter how much she forgives him and reconciles with him, the love won't be there. The moment he shared his water with another woman and making a fool of his wife, that marriage was messed up. I support the woman on any decision she takes. Africans, polygamy would have solved this issue simply. But no, Paul's Christianity is against it. Good luck to you and your baby. As for your husband, he has a lot more growing up to do. This was an issue I believe he could have did. He could have, simple, he could have discussed this thing. Tell me, Charlie, oh, babe, this is the issue at hand. You know, we are not giving them. Because I've watched Nigerian movies, and in fact, we have all watched Nigerian movies. And with these Nigerian movies, we have seen there are scenes where the woman is not giving me. Sometimes Ohene is a king. The queen is not able to procreate. They have a discussion and maybe they take in a maid or something. Even though sometimes it doesn't end well, but they have a discussion. So the best thing is have a discussion. Maybe the person will agree, maybe the person wouldn't agree. Just get to know the person's mind so that the person doesn't. What if, okay, so what if you, the man, you were the problem and you couldn't procreate? And she went to see another man and had sex with a guy. And now she gave birth. And the guy is asking for his babies. You, the guy, how would you have felt? If it were you, how would you have felt? I feel for the woman and I also understand the man. But a woman build her home. Building your home is making a sacrifice decision, not for yourself only. The best way for her was to hug the man. Tell him it's fine. They will take care of the children. The man will love her forever. The person know they love her, and say you will love her forever. She know they love you again. That is why she's living. Maybe she still loves you, but she feels that is the best decision. That's the best decision she can take. You get it? It's complicated. You can't really blame the husband. Neither can you blame the wife for how she feel and react. I actually blame the guy. Like, Charlie, you should have spoken. Okay, yeah, you can also blame the guy because you don't know the kind of communication levels their marriage was built on. Maybe they weren't, but still, it's a marriage. So far as you go to if it is a relationship, fine. But so far as you go to the extent of being in a marriage, Charlie, that one in you should open up to your wife. That is how I see it. I don't know how some of you may take it. Can you blame the wife? Okay, neither can you blame the wife for how she feel and react. But things happen. So calm down. Listen to your parents. Put yourself together and reconcile. Charlie, I bet you they threaten and plus divorce. Maybe you can't divorce her, man. Those insulting the woman. Wait until it's your sister or mom or even yourself. I remember at SHS during dining time we had this prayer. Some want, they don't get. Oh. All right. This is the story. These are the comments. I have said some. You to say yours there. I want you to be active in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this story. Okay. I just want you to analyze this for me. Because Charlie. My name is you. Hey. All right. I'm out of here.